kidding me?
Episode 392.
You've got to throw some cold water on this situation. Start talking about nerd stuff.
You know, nerd culture is mainstream now, so when you use the word nerd derogatorily, it means you're the one that's out of the zeitgeist.
System activate.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. It's a tech podcast. But we are a ton cooler than your typical geek.
You guys rock.
And now, here's Will and Trent.
No one listens to the radio. I wasn't even listening. I was listening to podcasts. Podcasts are great. Radio's boring.
Sometimes you want to wag the dog, sometimes the dog wags you. Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of NetHeads. In the utmost sense that you will never know about. Especially as I remove all evidence from the internet of its existence about, 40 minutes after this is done. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
are you laughing at the circumstance or the fact that I still had a little piece of chicken sandwich in my mouth? Which one is it now?
I thought you were going to say that you were removing all evidences of the chicken breast sandwich that was on your desk 2 minutes ago.
You know, it is funny. There was food here that was in existence 2 minutes ago, maybe 2.5, if you're lucky, 2:10, 2:20, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Or 2:20, 2:30. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Hey, everybody, welcome. Another edition of NetHeads. Somehow, somebody's going to find it somewhere. It is streaming out to all the locations now, and there's probably a new one up, and then people are going to be like, oh, how do I get here? And it's like, ooh, there you go. Anyway, a little bit of a glitch, but there's a reason why, Trent.
Yeah.
It's because anytime you are doing something like this, when you're taking the responsibility to entertain people and you say, you know what, I'm going to make this way more difficult than I have to. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run everything myself. I'm going to switch it myself. Because I'm going to be a little control freak about it, right? When that kind of thing happens, sometimes you forget to double check things when, cut to you for the reveal, you're setting up a brand new computer.
Oh, shit. Yep.
Homeboy, let me tell you something.
Yep.
And unfortunately, yes, I did just say homeboy. I'm sorry. But realistically speaking, here's what's been going on. I've been doing way more, and I mean way with a way more video editing than I've ever been doing, right?
Yep.
And now here's the terrifying part. I was on a PC that was only 3 years old.
Yep.
You with me? I've now gone from an i7 to an i9 processor. I don't know how many cores. I don't know the speed. Come on, man. Let's just...
Sure.
A processor that's 3 years newer. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Maxed it out. 128 gigs of memory.
Dude, praise be. Praise be.
Now I'm gonna hit you with the hook. Anybody that has done editing, they've done content creation on your digital system, because there are some people that take it to that level. They don't just whip out their phone and smile and say, "Hey, everybody," and do their jump cuts and get out. No, some of them want to sit down and really put together some serious content, so they'll sit down and edit too. So I'm not just talking to the enthusiasts taking those family movies and making them into a memory reel for grandpa to see.
Right.
I'm talking about people that are regularly editing now, and you too, actually, in your professional life. A lot of editing, right?
Yes, yeah, that's I would say 50% of my job is editing.
I got my noodle working on this one, Trent.
Okay.
I said, you know what? This new computer I'm getting, do you know what else it has? Guys, we are just having a tech-gasm all over you tonight. Right down to the fact that we can sit side by side when we talk like normal broadcasters. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I feel like I need a wet wipe.
I know. Unfortunately, your front row at my Gallagher concert and the tech watermelon is just being blasted all over you.
Just what I was going to say, yeah.
Which, for both of us, let's face it, dated reference.
So dated. He's even still alive.
I not only did I get this new PC, not only did I max out the RAM, but then I says to myself, I says, self, what appears to be the biggest challenge in the render process right now?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what it is? It's rapid, easily accessible, solid state drive storage.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
what my logic told me. This is, and the reason why,
Yep.
if you have, first of all, solid state, read and write much faster.
Correct.
Okay. Especially if there's a spare slot on the board, Trent.
Yes, you if you have 10 pieces, 10 solid state drives connected to one SATA port, they're all equally going to be not as fast as one with its own direct. It's bottlenecking.
Exactly. So I says, self, well, if it's just going to be a transitive location, in other words, things may go here, things may be written to here, they may be read from here, but it's always going to be in a state of flux. Things can then be moved over afterwards.
Yeah.
I kid you not, I ran a benchmark. On this computer, this brand new computer, if you guys are wondering, I'm a fan of Lenovo. That's,
nice.
that's what I've got.
Yeah.
Plus, for those like, oh, you could build it for half the cost or whatever, guess what? Then I also have none of the warranty. Okay, or support. For the next year, there are people I can go and bitch to on chat if I got any issues, right?
And they'll send you the parts to replace it.
Exactly. You got that going for me too, man.
Yep.
So anyway.
And you haven't destroyed your knuckles.
No.
All those sharp little bits. Oh God, dude.
And mind you, boy, was I all put out when I was putting these upgrades in, man. I was like, what am I, some common plebe having to use my hands on this PC?
Use your hands. It's a baby's toy.
Exactly.
Elijah Wood.
Very good. So I got that solid state drive. I ran a test, and Trent, I kid you not. One of them I was writing to the old location, which was a USB based drive. Actually, there's two options I've used. I either have a local network based drive, or I have a USB based desktop drive external. On the production system, if you will.
Right.
And so often I found that actually writing to the network was probably the fastest, given my circumstance. But even in that, I rendered out a project and I said, I'm going to cost myself some time here, but
Yeah.
I gots to know, Trent. I gots to know.
Yeah.
I just dirty harried 5 or 6 shots I didn't know. I gots to know. Writing to the network drive, the previously fastest place, the entire render process took 30 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. New setup, and just go with the parameters of 3 years newer. Graphics card is definitely 3 years newer. Let's just take the assumption I splurged on the graphics card, Trent. Just take that assumption.
So
Okay.
how many gigs of memory are in it?
It's 128 gigs, remember?
No, the not of the graphics card. For video.
Don't worry about that. Just work with a general assumption.
Okay.
This isn't rocket science. Nobody's going to hold you to the numbers. You're not going to have to testify before Congress. Relax.
Is it gonna be on the test? Is the question. At the
No.
end of this- Okay.
Solid state drive writing to it, 128 gigs resident, one of the best processors you can get right now. One of the best graphics cards you can get right now. A graphics card where realistically you looked at the price and you said, I'm going to do this?
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yep. I'm
all those variables aware, what do you think the new render time was? The old render time, 30 minutes.
And you were writing to, where was it at on this?
That was on writing to a network storage.
And it's got its own USB port, or is it in a hub?
It's literally hooked into my network here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I would say cut it in half.
15 minutes, 20 seconds.
There you go, baby. There you go.
I just look at all the time I just bought back.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
When
like when you're rendering, like two things that aren't necessarily hardware that make such a big difference is what codec you're writing it as, and whether or not you've optimized to use the hardware itself as opposed to rendering it with software, which will take longer.
Right. Right. And in this
And a lot
case,
of
you
that-
just
yeah.
know
Yeah.
anybody that's, doing a nonlinear editing system, you're going to be doing that. You know what I'm saying?
You should be. I mean,
Yeah.
Ho-
Yeah, that's the whole point of having the big beefy graphics card with the big muscles coming in saying, I crush your render, I take it and I shove it down and I make it go fast.
yeah. I don't give a shit about ray tracing. Just give me the data. I will process it.
Exactly. It just eats it up. That blew me away. I could not believe that. So, if you're in any way doing anything that's like a digital project of some type, and I'm just going to put it in the realm of if you're doing some type of digital art, okay, whatever that may be, audio,
It's sort of rendering, right? Where
visual,
you're bringing stuff together and creating a new something.
yeah.
Digital.
I cannot recommend the latest upgrades because I had tried one upgrade, and I'm telling you right now, based on I don't know, some of the things that may be happening in the future. I have I always forget for RTX 4070 Ti graphics card that I tried putting in the old system to see if that would help. But unfortunately, the motherboard could only handle so much as well.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
So I'm cleaning that off and I'm putting it back in the box that I bought it from. And sometime after the new year, I'm probably going to at least, get my cost back on it.
Yep.
Is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Because I'm just saying there might be some issue with, getting some things from overseas.
And I wouldn't even necessarily say there's going to be an issue. There's just going to be a significant price difference in 3 months.
Yeah, see, you're reading my mind, my friend. So I did decide to, when I decided to pull that trigger, I had no idea just how much things would get faster and how much they would be easier. I have been incredibly impressed. I've been incredibly less frustrated. Like literally there was something going on just right before, and this is what really made me, you always have those moments that break you, Trent. Okay. You always have those moments that just break you. And believe it or not, for me, it was Halloween because I always have the animated pumpkins out front.
Right.
And the Jack-o'-lantern Jamboree released like new videos for this year.
Yeah.
But I have a custom reel that I ran where it was pumpkins, and they had nice intermission pieces where it's just the pumpkins being pumpkins for like 2 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a nice break instead of having all these. Imagine a comic going on stage and just doing all his bits and not waiting for the laughs.
Yeah. There's the timing. It's important.
That's what it's like. And I was sitting here. My wife's like, "Are the pumpkins set up yet? The trick-or-treaters are going to be." I mean, like she's even wondering where the damn pumpkins are because of all the ridiculous bullshit I do outside on Halloween. She loves the animated pumpkins.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to render it out. It's not working. It's not going. Trying to render it out. It's just not rendering. Finally, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I don't know what's going to happen. But I run the pumpkins in a projector that has a USB drive. Okay. And it can just play the media straight from it. Now, I previously was doing my custom assembly, but I got so frustrated I just copied all of the files to the thumb drive. And they played in whatever order they were in.
Yeah.
Thank God the device was smart enough not to continuously display the name of the file at the bottom.
Good.
And it would just move on from. There might be a little bit of a blink, but at least it was up and running. So that was nice to discover. And that means that if it plays, well, see, I still don't like it because it has those breaks. I would rather it looping my custom 90-minute file.
You want a seamless thing from scene to scene.
Exactly, man. Because if it was all just like foreplay and getting right to it, and then it's done.
Yeah,
that's not good for anybody.
Yeah, again, all about timing.
Yeah, and what you do with your hips, I guess. Look, man. All I'm saying is that thing finally not working, and then immediately followed by frustratingly trying to render out a project for Mr. Smith. And that one being delayed too because the file was glitching on one frame. I just had to shave 2 more frames off the end.
Where you get like that one corrupted frame and then it screws I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was just like it would get to that point like, you know what? I don't know what to do, man. I
Yep.
don't.
Yep.
Suddenly the program, it became a union job, okay? And the lunch clock had run.
Sorry.
That's done. We're
Guaranteed.
done.
In our contract.
Taking a break, taking a tea on this one.
Yep.
Smoke them if you got them, boys.
Yeah, because we're not working.
So that's what broke me and made me realize, okay, maybe. Because that's also the beauty of PC versus Mac, right? Is that after 3 years, not only that, but the old hardware still has longevity for other things. Because I don't know if you've noticed, Trent, I keep seem to be putting computers around in my office.
No, but that just it. Like you need who doesn't want to build their own Plex server with just whatever piece of crap computer that's it's either this or take it to Goodwill or throw it away. There's always something you can do with it. I'm all about it, dude. Sign me up.
Oh, honestly speaking, man, don't get me started on Plex server. It's not something I want to talk about. I do need to talk to you about something afterwards, though, because I look, all I'm saying is I'm just wondering if you happen to be aware of and maybe have like some of those self-help books on audiobook.
Okay.
Yeah. See,
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. Many.
Wink, 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 nudge, nudge. Wink's as good as a
connoisseur.
nod to a blind bat, sir. Moving
Say
on.
no more. Say no more.
You really have to pay attention to the nuance in between, guys, to really catch whatever the heck it is we're throwing down. So yeah, the Halloween broke me. I finally decided to do it, but I'll tell you, in light of everything else, I really think this might be over describing it, but 2 weeks ago, I might have said when it was happening that there's a certain level of existential dread I have about moving to a new computer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because it's not just you. It's just not moving. It's not just what programs do I have? What don't I have? Literally, this is the first time I thought in advance and I went into my email and I thought about every critical piece of software I use. Actually, the beautiful part was I didn't have to migrate anything. I had one system, the old system up for comparison, but before I did it, I even went into my email history and looked up all the software that I know and what licenses I have. Am I going to have an upgrade issue now? That kind of thing.
Right.
So I took care of that post haste, and then I said, you know what? This is going to shock you, Trent. Can you name the number of days that the new computer sat before it even came out of the box?
At your house?
It gets a right. It has to be signed for. The driver comes to the door, and the brand new shiny potential is in the cardboard box, just waiting for that sound of that and that knife to go along that tape and that little pop for the piece that still didn't get cut.
Yep.
Right?
I would hope that it's a measurement of time that is not necessary to use days. Will, I would hope that we're into the minutes, if not seconds realm.
I mean, for a show that's titled NetHeads and the purported tech addict that I am, it seems like a safe assumption, right? You're thinking this was nanoseconds.
But we life pretty hard sometimes, we do the adulting sometimes.
Yes, we do.
And that puts things on delay. The past 2 weeks or 3 weeks, since pre-October has been pretty intense just in lifing alone. So I don't know, maybe 3 days. If lifing got in the way, 3 days, I hope at least.
That's what you would hope, Trent. It's what you would hope. I kid you not. A week and a half. I know. There's some shame in my heart about it, but you got to realize it's not just about a computer. Okay? It is about a computer. It's about an ability to deliver on production deliverables while that's happening. So, and not to mention, apparently, don't forget, setting up an entire TV studio again, essentially.
Yeah. No,
And
it makes
so
sense.
it got, look, man, I admit it. I admit it's not like my grandma and the microwave. I admit it. Okay? I admit it. I was a little nervous. I know how to set the time on the microwave, Trent. I'm still there. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Although I will say that I got all worked up because there was something I was making the dinner I was making on the day that daylight saving time ended.
Uh-huh.
I had to start it or it was even the day after. No, it was the same day. And I had to start it, and it needed 4 to 6 hours. And then it got to be 12 o'clock because I looked at the microwave.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh my God, I got to start this thing because if Emily's going to be home between 4 and 6, this needs to be ready between 4 and 6. And it wasn't until after I busted my hump to quickly get that in, thinking I was 14 minutes late. No, I was 45 minutes on time. But because I looked at the microwave and then I laughed about it. Now, the funniest part, I don't know if she wants me sharing this, Trent. Denise was totally unaware that the time had changed. Like, that's how little this woman rests well. Okay?
Yeah, right, yes.
Because she was just like, oh, it's dark, whatever. I've been wanting to go to sleep since I got up this morning. What the hell do you want?
Yeah.
Your time changed, baby man?
And it happens on a Sunday, right? Which is like the black hole of time. The only thing you know is that existential dread of Sunday night when it's time to go to bed, right? That's all we know about time on Sundays.
Hey, wait a second. Are you quoting lyrics, or are you just dropping bars on the podcast?
No? Did it rhyme?
Trent, I don't know how to tell you this. That was damn artistic of you, my friend.
I don't even remember what I said.
Oh, that's going to be fun to go back and check out on later, because that really should become the title of the goddamn show. Oh, that was wonderful. By the way, I want to that's all, folks. Good night. See ya. We're done. Sorry. Just want to give a shout out to the people that are active in the chat while we do this live, because if somehow, by some miracle, you're listening to Trent and myself and you're like, hey, you know what, guys, I don't know why I'm listening to you, and I'm not aware of the fact that on a semi-regular schedule you go live. Right now we're going live, and there are people that are residing in chat rooms on the interwebs, Trent. And so I just want to give a shout out to Miranda Janelle and ZB and that fracking cat in the chat. Also, want to take a step back and also reset and remind everybody that Ian G is this week's Patreon supporter for NetHeads Patreon supporter of the week.
Ian, like IAN, not ENG.
No, not like ENG Bank or I know that's ING.
Yeah, no, but like if you're looking for ENG cameras, those are your electronic news gathering cameras. So they've got like manual everything on the side. There's no digital menu. It's on the outside. You can run and gun, so to speak. Run and gun cameras, ENGs.
Bro, you just got to get your head up out of broadcast's ass, okay? Because you're just.
I know.
First you're dropping bars, and now you're like suddenly delving into the tech depths. What are you gonna do? Run a BNC cable out to me next?
It'll be an SDI cable, but we'll definitely have BNC connectors. That's for sure.
Okay, see, there we go. Jesus, I tried to get you, and you're like, no, wait a second. That's just the connector, Will. I know what the cable's name is. That you just made my goddamn point. You're making the job too easy for me. All right, listen. Ian G. All right, we clear? Correct. Ian G. Patreon supporter of the week. So special shout out to them as well, because I don't know pronouns, and I'm not going to try and guess them, Trent. I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, you don't.
I gotta say, part of me likes the two shot, Trent. And for those of you that are watching this and listening, and you're like, not only did I not know you were live, but really you're doing video. We refer to visuals so damn much. But I like it and I don't like it because it's great that people can see us the whole time, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes I've still got a basket of fries here.
No,
You know?
yeah, exactly. And so that's the balance that you have to get in a two shot, right? Like it's great, but if you need to cover something up, you need to have established going to the one shot enough that it doesn't feel like you're covering something up, right? So like that's the balance.
I'm starting to feel like we're both Abed on Community in this very moment.
Oh,
Which,
dude,
which by the
yeah.
way,
Yeah.
I just gotta say, one of the funniest things that I understand why it's happening because there's supposed to be a new Community movie, okay? And for those that don't know, Community, I gotta move. I still haven't mounted the computer in case you're wondering why every once in a while I'm part of the great 1906 earthquake again. Although I will say I did go with a new mounting system that uses 2 clamps on either side of a pole, so it is sturdier as long as I don't really bump things too bad.
So so it's not a VASA
It's two C clips, okay, that clamp down on the desk. The metal pole is in the middle.
Oh, gotcha.
Custom slider,
Yep.
different mounts. It's all good, and I even added 2 extra arms just to counterweight the direction of the camera.
Smart.
But right now I keep with my knee hitting into, because again, it's great to talk about video on a podcast. Look, Trent, what the hell was I just talking about before I made the earth shake?
God, 1906.
That's where I derailed myself.
Yeah, that was because I was like, oh man, what a great, we're really doing deep cuts now.
Right.
But fuck me.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I still got a basket of fries. That's the whole point, man.
Yes.
And they're not getting any warmer.
Abed and Community. There we go.
Oh, there you are. See, I knew we'd get there eventually.
Got there.
Social media is so interesting and weird because, like on the TikTok app, okay, there's an account for Community. There's an account for Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Okay,
like an official account.
Like an official verified account for Brooklyn, a show that has completed, is done. Andre Bauer, R.I.P. Look, it's done. But they keep pulling like topical references from their shows or just good, ridiculous, stupid bits. And they play them out. Like there was it was kind of like a flashback episode that was done near one of the ends of Community's run. I can't remember if it was 4th, 5th, or 6th season. But in it, they're comforting Abed because the janitors changed into the clocks for daylight saving time. And like that suddenly just comes up in your feed, and you're like, okay, I get it why they're doing it because they're supposed to be a movie, but like Brooklyn Nine-Nine doing it too. It is one of life's precious little gifts that we can still get from social media.
Well, and then my analytical brain is like, oh wow, like so was that budgeted in to the overall marketing for an extended continuation of social presence? Like who's getting paid to do that?
I'm telling you what right now, okay? It's either interns or it is social media people, but they're being brought in under Peacock's budget because awareness of the show gets people to watch it on streaming.
That makes total sense. Yep. Yeah. So that makes total sense.
And by the way, I don't know this for a fact, but I instantly just found a bucket for you right there because I'm Will Wilkins, corporate shill.
Look, folks, he's not necessarily gonna give it a great review, but he won't give it a great review if you send it to him.
That is true. No, Trent, I'm not kidding. I should be holding it up right now. I should be wearing the T-shirt, everything else. By the way, I'm glad you got the black T-shirt memo. Very proud of you for that one.
Thank you. You're speaking of production, right?
Speaking of production, I didn't even bother turning on my side lights. I just wanted to get some good rich red tone. Wanted to look like I'm on the surface of Saturn for some reason. Look, Trent, all the time for the past 4 weeks, there's been a link in the show description, and I'm not kidding, guys. We don't get political, and I'm not going to get topical here, but I'm going to tell you right now. that we may have an issue with things coming from overseas. Okay, we might have an issue with things that are they may cost a whole lot more. We've already alluded to it. There is a company, if you have a 3D printer, especially if you have a Bamboo A1 printer, an A1 Mini, and a few other brands, some in the Creality area, there's a company named SliceWorks. Link is in the description. SliceWorks with an X, so SLICEWRX.com. They make a triple dipped cold plate for 3D printers that when it gets warm, it gets sticky. So that way it holds your print. You can print fine detail with it because without worrying about extra supports, it'll hold it in place. You'll have less failures. And best of all, Trent, you notice I said cool plate. It can run on average 20 to 30 degrees lower than what you're typically running your build plate on. So now you're using less energy. So less print fails, okay, lower energy cost, both of them great things. And it's just one of the sturdiest build plates I have ever had. As a matter of fact, I have been running off Wolverine helmets. I've been running off from Agatha all along. I've been running off Wiccan crowns.
Oh, nice.
And that Wiccan crown, man, I don't know. You haven't seen Agatha all along, I'm guessing.
No. I'm assuming it's not unlike
the Scarlet Witch one.
Yeah.
Remember you saw it? It's like more of a almost organic lattice work kind of thing. Yeah. That thing is a freaking nightmare to print, but I can only do it because of the SliceWorks build plate. They also do sell they sell filament as well, and they may have a plate for your printer as well. I mean, I never heard of a triple dipped build plate, but I swear to goodness gracious, Trent, these guys making this product, they are probably the reason why a 3D print profile of cool plate was created, because I haven't heard about any other polymer plates that work this well. I'm telling you, man, they are the ones that put it on the map. And I believe they're actually manufactured overseas. So if you want to help a local company who outsources their materials and production, but you want to support a company and you want to benefit yourself, go hit the link in the description. Let them know we sent you there. And I'm telling you right now, it's an amazing product to add to your 3D printer. As a matter of fact, I got an Elegoo 4 Plus because it's a bigger build plate and I can I can have an easier time printing the Wolverine side pieces.
On the Bamboo?
No, on the Elegoo.
Oh, Neptune. So it's different.
Yeah. And it's a great printer, and the one thing I hate is that I don't have that triple dipped build plate for it now. I got to run a camera on it. I got to worry about it, but this thing is amazing. So there should have been something on screen, but whatever. Just check it out. Go to like I said, the link in the description, or somewhere you can get to our link tree as well. Links to it as well. It's an amazing build plate. Sorry, I didn't mean to go into shill mode, but I really wanted to talk about it because I have been 3D printing so much, but Trent, I have to tell you that unfortunately, I have to throw out a non-asked for late term review for the Anchor Make M5 printer that I got a while back.
Yeah. And this is Anchor. This is the like go-to for like all of your hubs and all of your basic peripherals for regular computer gear, your dongle.
Yeah. They got a long name, and the Anchor Make division made two printers. They have the M5, which was the first one, the Kickstarter one. Trent, for the love of God, if you're my friend, stop letting me back these things on Kickstarter. Do something, okay? It never works out for me. This robot back here is an idiot. Printer, look, man, the M5 was a good printer for a while, but lately it's been developing issues.
Well, and it was delayed, right?
Yeah, and no matter what I do, I just can't seem to get a good type of print that I'm trying to run off of it. So that's why I also kind of defaulted to the Neptune, because I figure because the idea is it's got a much bigger build plate, so I can run these bigger pieces. Look, man, I'm not going to lie to you, Trent. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, please, by all means.
It's because I got a big head, and I want to make a Mandalorian helmet without having to glue plastic together.
without having to like get the heat gun and try to expand it as material gets thinner and thinner,
Yeah.
and
Not necessarily in that approach, but yeah, I just, I don't want to be joining pieces together because that involves more sanding and everything else. But anyway, but I think I'm going off the deep end because I'm starting to get, again, we don't get political, but I'm starting to get paranoid because I love 3D printing. I have found a product that I'm able to 3D print that people want.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at the boxes and it's like, oh, the majority of the filaments I buy come from Vietnam. The parts for the 3D printers I use come from China. You know what I mean? And so I'm starting to be concerned that, like, I'm sure you've heard stuff in the news, but even as a 3D printing enthusiast, I am starting to wonder if I need to be stockpiling, if I need to buy things before the beginning of next year, so that way I have my raw materials for my production.
yeah, if you can afford it, it won't hurt you. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea is I'm gonna be taking advantage of a lot of those Black Friday deals.
Yes.
And-
That's just what I was going to say. And a lot of them they're going up early even. So just keep an eye on it. Take advantage of those if you can afford it. And it sucks, I know, because it's free first of the month and most of us get paid for Christmas, blah blah blah. But if you're trying to think ahead a little bit, namely start of the year, good idea.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it may be because let's face it, if you're thinking about technology, I will admit, freely speaking, that's another reason why I amplified the computer purchase, moved it up in the schedule, because I figure it's got parts, pieces. Lenovo may make these, may have them built somewhere else, or they may need to get their parts from elsewhere.
Yep.
And so the cost of like electronics, I anticipate going up so much so. I went through my kitchen and I looked up the date on all of my appliances and when I put them in.
Yeah.
So, hey, I didn't mean to go that direction, but just wanted to give you guys some advice. If you're having to make those rough decisions, now is the time to evaluate just to make sure. But speaking of technology, Trent,
Yeah.
we've talked all about my new computer.
Yeah.
I'm noticing a piece of technology behind you that I did not expect to see in your space.
Oh, mon frere.
What are we here? What are we looking at here? What's the haps here, buddy?
Well, this is a model. This is a Netchi model 3537. Now, granted, this is after the Netchi sewing machine company was sold to a Japanese manufacturer. It went down a little bit in quality, but it's still seen as a pretty solid machine. Dude, I got this at the secondhand store. It was still, you can see the top still got the plastic on it, brand new, never used. I don't know if it was just mislabeled, but the box, which you can see behind it, they had $12 on it. And that same day, I was looking for the same model on Facebook Marketplace for $200. But it was in somebody else's cart at the secondhand store. So I said, okay, I'll give them 15 minutes, right? If that cart is still there and it hasn't moved in 15 minutes, I'm pulling it out of the cart and I'm paying for it and getting the fuck out of here.
Well, wait a minute. At that point, I would argue it might not be a person's cart. That could be an employee's cart putting things out.
Right? Exactly. So that's yeah. Who knows? Or someone who was trying to hold it until they could come back later and buy all their stuff together. I don't know, because I'll tell you what, the go-to secondhand store in Utah is an arm of the LDS Church. It's Deseret Industries, and dude, it is insane. The place is always crawling with just, especially on Saturdays, man. The line 2 Saturdays ago was all the way to the back of the store, and it's like a small grocery store size. It's as big as any Goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I got it. I got out the door, and dude, I have been so like for a couple of years, I've been using just it's called a quick stitch, and it basically just looks like a stapler.
Yeah.
That has one needle that just does a little stitch. It's gotten to the point where I needed more. And that's this, and I again, okay, perfect example though, Will, right? You buy something, you sit on it for a while, right? Because
Yeah.
there's going to be a learning curve involved. And you don't want to start something, not be able to like really comprehend what's going on, stop doing that thing, have to move to something else. Yeah, I get it. And that was this until I got a new mattress, and I wanted to make use of all the stuff inside of my old mattress, and I dismantled it and have been making pet beds out of the memory foam inside.
Oh.
Dude, and the dogs literally for the one that I've finished run for the bed as you can get to it first. They love it that much.
Look, man, I'm not going to lie. When it comes down to technology, I will say that in the modern era, there is a very growing lost art form, and that is in the use of a sewing machine.
Yeah,
Okay?
and it is frustrating as hell, but if you take the time, it all makes sense, right? It's very I don't want to say analytical, but it all just makes sense. Like this goes to this turns this. If I do this, it will do that. Like if you, I think honestly, I think the biggest deterrent, and it still this day is my most frustrating thing. It's the same problem with putting a computer together. It's the little parts and the mitts. The mitts weren't made to thread a needle with that little piece of string in that hole. It's
Look,
infuriating.
Trent, I'm not going to lie. I got a brother sewing machine. I will
Okay.
admit, or no, it may not even be a brother now. I don't know. It may be a nicer brand. It was handed down to me by my mom. She only had this one still because she could use part of a serger feature, maybe, I think, on it.
Oh, yeah.
But,
yeah, if you're doing hand, surgers are nice.
But this thing, man, it's just, look, I'm going to use some terms that people aren't going to understand right now. But Trent, let me tell you something. This thing has just got a drop-in bobbin.
Yep.
Drop in bobbin, Trent.
Oh,
Drop
dude.
in. Do I
Yeah.
need to worry about dragging this, that, turning this, that? Drop in bobbin, my friend. And I'm just going to take my thread. I'm going to drape it across here. Now I'm going to press this handle.
Oh,
Guillotine eyes. Self-threading. I mean, semi-automatic, I guess is the way you call it.
yeah.
Cha-chink, cha-chink.
Oh.
My thread is in, my friend.
That's noise.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone would be like shocked the fact that I use a sewing machine. Because obviously I was very forthright when I was making the masks during the pandemic, but also, as I've made mention many a NetHeads ago, it got to a point where my unnecessary attention to detail made my mom throw the Halloween costume we were working on at the time at me and said,
Do it yourself.
"You're going to do this yourself." So, but look, here's the thing. You doing the pet beds, me doing the masks, and especially like the year that I did the Willy Wonka costume and I made the Willy Wonka vest.
Yes.
When that thing actually worked and everything went together and it had functional buttonholes and everything else, there is a sense of pride that I got just as equally as if I had crafted something from wood.
Yeah. No, and it's so funny because I remember, right after I graduated from like college and my first couple of jobs, there was like a significant amount of dissatisfaction in what I was doing because there wasn't that like that sense of accomplishment of having something, a product, right? And I think that there's even a more connection with what you've done when you can hold that something versus say a digital product, right? I'm like, I love doing a video and seeing it done, and then it's a thing. But when I can hold that thing, dude, it feels so goddamn good, man.
Or living on a budget and you're like, hey, you know what? With this little bit of extra denim, I can reinforce these overalls and I can get another season or two out of them,
dude.
right?
Like, exactly. Or refitting clothes that don't fit, like taking them in, stuff like that. Like once you start seeing uses for it, they're everywhere, and then it just becomes a matter of like the stack of shit that you want to do and the time you have.
Trent, I don't mean to sound like one of those old people from when I was growing up,
but
like
back in your day,
no, how much has corporate America convinced us we don't? And I'm telling you right now, Trent, even though I and forgot about checking where the starter was. Making bread, okay? Even if you don't do sourdough like I do, and you just want to use yeast and flour and water and everything else, you can make a perfectly good sandwich bread from the ingredients you saw in your own kitchen. You know exactly what's in it.
Yep.
The biggest con is the convenience of packaged bread.
Oh yeah, and God, and I want to say there's a 99% Invisible episode about that, how sliced bread actually was a thing, but it was the packaging. They couldn't package it in a way that would keep its form, and like, so yeah, like, it's been around forever. It wasn't until like, the 1920s that they're like, oh, now we can sell this and everyone will stop doing it on their own.
Yeah, nope.
Well, and dude, I think there's so much too, because some more so than others, but the whole planned obsolescence in design today is part of the business model, right? Is we're going to plan for this to just be, you have e-waste in 5 years, and then you have to throw it in and rebuy it. There's no way to upgrade so many things or to patch, so metaphorically, so many things in design now.
Yeah.
Like that it's changed, I think, our idea of what we can do, where we're like, oh no, I can fix this, because we're just so used to everything being obsolescent.
Well, speaking of fixing, Trent, one of the things that I've also done is I've had to take a hard look at the way I have been storing things, because space has returned to a premium.
Right.
And a couple of years ago, I had built shelves in the garage, right? And one of the choices I had made at the time was to build a special row of shelves, almost floating in a way. They were just anchored at one point.
Yeah.
From the two parts of the garage. Okay, I separated them. And now over time, I'm like, oh, this is claustrophobic, and there's got to be a better way. And I don't know if you may have noticed or not, I seem to be getting more and more of these 3D printers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you don't say.
And the other day, Denise is just like, I don't know where this is going, but it's not here. Why don't you figure out a way to make this work in the garage? And suddenly, it just dawned on me that with a garage like mine, where I have no built-in rafters, I'm not putting old closet doors or putting additional support in between joists and dropping some plywood. I don't have that, but I still have a lot of dead space overhead.
Sure.
So this weekend, I want you to say a silent prayer for me, Trent, because I've got to go through and do the clean sweep approach on the garage, keep, delete, or donate.
Yep.
Those are the three piles. We only get to touch it once when it goes out, once when it comes back, or wherever the hell else is going.
Just like food.
Thankfully, I have the side yard, which I affectionately call the alley. So, and Vets Move and Vets Move Junk are scheduled for Monday. Okay.
Yeah. And that's like an RV pad, right? Like you can set stuff.
Almost. It's almost wide enough.
It's like packed gravel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the garbage goes out. I'm putting in overhead shelving units, or overhead storage.
Oh, so like hanging from the
drop down overhead storage in the garage. And I can't believe I didn't just want to do this originally.
So are those anchored like with say, like when you anchor
They'll be distributed across joists.
Okay, that's
okay.
Yep.
So each drop bar goes to another rail that distributes across 2 to 3 joists.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or whatever you call those things. Anyway, goes into those. And here's the thing too that kills me. In a 4x6 space, okay, the way that these things can go up completely unobtrusively.
Yeah.
To everybody walking underneath them. Each one of those replaces a shelf and a half run that I had built. And I'm putting in 3 of them.
Dude.
So the two things I'm amped about this is, one, finally going to be taking a serious hard look and clearing some crap out.
Right.
Which is always a bit of a bummer, but also a good thing.
Yeah, it's. I was actually just thinking about that today. Like again one of those things you have to dedicate the time, blah blah blah, and there's like some emotional stuff that you have to go through at the same time. But then at the end, it's like, oh, this feels good.
Exactly. I've cleansed the space. I've cleansed my spirit. So I'm putting those things in this weekend. So that's the weekend project, right? It's like park cleaning, hanging things, moving things. But the part that I'm most excited about, that is part of the long-term plan, if you will, Trent, is that I realized, and I'm sorry, people, I'm getting a little douchey here, all right? Because, the bald 53-year-old guy nobody wants to look at thinks he's a content creator. But with the way that things will be after this project is done, right now it's 4 shelves, right? Instead, it's just going to be a straight 8-foot run of a shelf with storage underneath and stuff mounted up above. And that way, if you think about it, Trent, if I just go ahead and run about 10 feet in front of me, and it's a garage with hanging cages that I can attach lights to. I'm just saying a little bit of paint makes that plywood and the 2x3s look decent. I'm going to have my nice little printing area, and I'll be able to even do, if I wanted to, I could do 3D printing content.
Oh, dude, I love it. I love it so much. It's such a good idea. And dude, to be honest, like I'm a little jealous because like your garage is not subject to the needs of a garage in a place that is bombarded with snow.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have like drainage issues. I don't have humidity
or
the snow plow defrosting in there, or pardon me, the snow.
Or like having like if you need to leave the car out of the garage for a few hours, it's fine.
Oh yeah, that
right?
too.
Like yeah, like it's not like, oh yeah, it's not like, oh no, it needs to stay in here, otherwise it's gonna freeze up, and it has to be ready to go for when I go to work or whatever, and then I don't have to defrost the windows and everything
exactly.
else. Like I'm a little jealous. It's kind of nice.
So I just brought all that up because you may see some things, at least on the YouTube channel, start to change a little bit when I'll start putting out some more. Because here's the thing, okay? I have dipped into the 3D printing world, and I have learned what I have learned trying to look around and find information and everything else. And everybody I see that wants to talk about this shit wants to talk about it like an expert. Right. I'm not going to do that. Here's what's happening. I'm coming at you with everyman 3D printing issues.
Totally. Yeah.
And this is just what I found. This is what I wish was better. That kind of thing. So that way, if you want to hear from somebody who seriously is just 2 steps off from where you may be starting out, I can help share some information or my experience. So that's the idea. And I'm sorry to get a little douchey and talk about content creation, but I just I'm excited about that because I'm also finally putting the garage to work, if you will.
Yeah. Well, and like I think for any sort of like tutorial or whatever it might be that I look to for on the internet, it's all that I don't want the expert, right? Because they're going to be referencing things that like I'm going to be like, oh, now I got to go learn this before I can do this or whatever. Like usually it's the guy that's like, oh shit, I could have made this video type situation.
Exactly.
That, it's actually beneficial for what I need.
And Trent, we're all Jeff Winger in season 6 of Community, trapped in a ball pit, yelling at a YouTube video. Yep. I don't care about this. Just tell me how to edit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's every one of us. So anyway, it's hopefully this is one of those things where I've talked about something and now I've manifested it into being something I absolutely positively have to do. But we have buried the lead and it's almost the end of the show. Trent, one of the things I wanted to share with you that I found out about this week are the top 10 passwords for 2024. Now, that's a little misleading because realistically speaking, now you can see the article reflecting in my glasses. God damn it. It's a little bit, so one of them are just it's the top 5 for personal accounts and the top 5 for corporate accounts.
Yeah, you're
one of them as a security professional, 2 of them, well, look, the long and short of it is I'm going to say something about this, but realistically speaking, guys, if the company you're working at is worth their salt, then they are using a common passwords file of some type provided by some authority that's telling any of their users that try to use these passwords, no, you can't do that. Okay.
Right.
So want to put that out there. You know, if you're working at a major corporation, this is really not your problem. But I wanted to also give Trent the chance to guess. So for the personal accounts, can you tell me what is the 5th most common password used?
Password 12345.
No, that is not on the list. The 5th is QWERTY123.
Oh, no, are you
KWERTY123.
serious?
Look, man, I don't even know. They may have just talked to 5 guys sitting in a park. I don't know.
No, that makes sense.
Okay, number 4, you included it in your. You went too complex. Number 4 for personal accounts.
Password.
Password. That is correct.
Yep.
The 3rd most, and I'm going to give you a hint. Okay, it's nothing but numbers, and it's 8 of them.
Oh, it's your birthday.
No.
Oh, shit.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, no,
5,
really?
6, 7, 8. The second most popular password for 2024 in personal accounts, Trent. I feel like David Letterman.
Aw.
I'm going to give you a clue. This is really a layup, brother. Okay? I'm going to give you a clue. It's only numbers.
Okay.
And it's 9 of them.
Your phone number.
Your mind is way too complex. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, shit, are you serious?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, you hoped for humanity, and I was right there with you.
Thing is, it's funny because, like, in my mind, it's like, oh, yeah, because whatever platform requires 9 characters.
Okay, look, man. Fool me once, fool me twice. The number 1 most common password in 2024 for personal accounts. I'm going to give you a clue.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I need to say this slower.
I mean,
It's only numbers, and it's 6 of them. What is your guess? I am disappointed in you, man. 1, 2, 3.
Oh no! No!
4, 5, 6.
No way!
I
Really?
mean, I was just like lobbing a ball over the plate, and bro, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep. No. That's yeah.
Okay.
Look, and gosh, I wish we were an affiliate for LastPass or any other provider of secure passwords, because having a password manager is the most simple, greatest thing in the world.
Oh, definitely. Oh, by the way, I'll see if I can share this into the chat without ruining the world here. Yeah, you can see my mouse a little bit. But anyway, this one, ZB just dropped this bad boy into the chat, and I think that is just an incredibly awesome password to use. OMG, I hate this job. So, oh my God, I hate this job.
Yeah.
Okay, corporate accounts, Trent. We still got 5 more to get through. Okay.
Now these I'm guessing are all going to be longer because they will be mandatorily dictated, right, to have longer.
That's what I would think. I would think that in this modern age, any major corporation, anybody that has to adhere to any type of compliance rules, data security rules, and the like, they would be utilizing alphanumeric 8+ for the number of characters. Which even in this day and age, I don't think is enough. I'm still a firm believer we should have been using passphrases, but whatever. Trent, I'm just gonna look. This one was in the previous list.
No,
it is just a word. The 5th most popular corporate account password for 2024.
Password.
Oh, you know what? You know what? There you go, Trent. There you go. Number 4 has not been mentioned, but it is just a word.
Okay. How many characters?
6.
You're
gonna ask to dial a friend next? Jesus, what is this?
Secret password backwards?
No, you were. Look, I'm gonna tell you, it was on your lips. It was secret. Secret.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The third most popular corporate account password for 2024, Trent. I've tried this 3 times before.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to give it to you one more time.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking in code.
No.
I'm relatively certain most of these words I'm utilizing are English.
Yeah.
It's all numbers, Trent.
Okay.
And there are 8 of them.
Is it 1 through 8?
I'm kidding. I just wanted to see your reaction. It's all right, Trent. The number 2, also on the previous list. It's all numbers, Trent.
Yeah.
And there's 9 of them.
1 through 9.
Now I'm feeling good. I understand maybe it was a long day. I'm with you now.
No,
Or you decided comedy comes in 3s.
Yeah,
You're going to go into the next bit acting like you didn't before. You were acting like you didn't get it. Now, whatever way you're playing it, I like it, man.
Yeah.
I like what you're throwing down.
Thanks.
I still can't wait for you to play this back to find out how you busted out a rhyme in regards to anyway. The number 1 most common password, corporate accounts 2024, Trent. It's 6 numbers.
I'm going to guess it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So we can go ahead and file this exercise into that little folder that we're going to call the reason why you keep getting those notices about data breaches, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my. Yes.
Yeah, that's the reason why, guys, because somehow, some ways, some people still in this wonderful country of ours utilize these moronic passwords.
Yeah, because
what the hell?
They're not quote unquote hacking into your account. They're just trying. They're automatically spamming all the passwords at your account until one fits.
Yeah, nobody's typing this stuff in, guys. No. It's just it's almost being rickrolled, if you will. But
it's exactly what's happening.
It's being, well, I think you used the term war dialed is what we used to call it, and I'm sure it's still referred to in that way. I mean, I'm a professional in the industry. I should really know this.
Funny that you use that term, Will, because I'm going to play a little game with you, and it's called. Do you remember Hackers from 1995?
The movie?
Yeah, directed by Ian Softly, I think is his name. Softly.
Look, man, I can tell you that I think Robert Redford was in it, right?
Yeah, he was the big bad.
I got to be honest with you, I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I'm supposed to be embarrassed about that.
It does not hold up at all. But
okay.
I remember in high school just being like, "This is the most bad. I'm going to be a hacker one day. I'm going to wear glasses that have an amber lens color to them. How cool is that?"
I hate to bring up content, but there was this great bit this guy was doing, which was like, if hacking in movies was like hacking in real life, it's like, okay, we need to get into this mainframe and such and such. And the guy said, okay, great. Hi, David. My name's Veronica. Is this the picture you wanted me to send? What are you doing? I'm phishing them. You know what I mean? Just going through the whole thing. It's not sexy. It's not nobody's sitting there clicking at a keyboard, wiping their brow. It's just like 1 second. Okay, we're in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the way it happens.
And that's all Hackers is, right?
Okay, so hit me with your best shot, Captain. Fire away.
There's a memorable scene in there where they're hacking into, they're typing in a password to Robert Redford's account, and the line is these are the most used passwords. These are the 4 most used passwords, right? So they are.
Okay. So look at you tying it in. So this sounds like a guy that puts together trivia nights. That's how you know this. I have a funny feeling.
Yeah. So the first one, they're all words, right? And you got to think, maybe this isn't that accurate. It's a screenwriter's attempt at something, I don't know, but they're all words. The first one is 4 letters, and it's a feeling.
Sick.
Ooh, good guess. Love.
Aww.
Love.
Aww. Oh, let me. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, now the next one is one that was on the list already, though, and it's 6 letters.
Secret.
There you go. That's number 2, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Now the
Haven't seen the movie, guys.
last 2, according to the movie from 1995, boy, it's not a great movie. The last 2 are 3 letters. The first one is a noun, a proper noun, but not this one's not capitalized or anything, so it's a noun. 3 letters.
Mom.
God.
All right. Fair
Right?
enough.
Yeah. And then 3 letters, last one, and they're trying to make like hackers be a sexy thing with the Jolie being the lead and everything. What do you guess the last one is that's 3 letters?
Is it SEX?
Well done.
Wow, I'm so proud of myself. Thank you. At least you gave me clues. I just left you dangling in the wind.
Well, I mean, dude, if don't take the time to watch it. It would be a great hotel view if it was ever on like TNT or something like that in a hotel. It would be worth watching. Otherwise, don't waste your time.
I just need something. I just need noise in the background because I just need noise in the background. I heard the saddest thing recently. I don't know if it's true, but basically they were saying that people that need to listen to things like the TV or something to go to sleep, they have separation or abandonment issues. And so they need that to feel like people are there. Which I thought I had a good upbringing, but I have the majority of my life enjoyed going to sleep to television.
Well, and for me, it depends on what it is. Some things that I will put on because it's like bubblegum for the soul. Do you know what I mean? It's just so comforting, and it's
Trent,
warm. Like that.
Look,
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. Last Thursday, not only were you busy, but you know what? Wasn't really feeling like doing a show. But you know what I ended up doing? My daughter, because we've already got like the nerd tree up in the house, okay?
Yeah.
And the big tree just got put up today. Christmas has been a building pretty much since the first weekend of November here in the home. Yeah. But my daughter asked, because she looked at the tree and she said, "What is this?" I said, "That's a weeping angel." And she said, "Oh, well, what's that?"
Oh.
So next thing you know,
I'm
sitting there, I'm watching Blink. I'm watching, I can't remember, Blood and Stone, I think is the second part of it. I can't remember what the first one is, but the 2-parter for Matt Smith's era. And then I just said, you know what? I'm going to take myself a quick Matt Smith era highlight reel for myself. And let me tell you something, man. Sometimes a well-produced piece of media is just that. It's a comforting balm, that you're able to just spread over whatever makes you not feel good, and it makes you forget it for a while.
Dude, it's so true. And like those like I can put on like late 1980s professional wrestling, and like it just puts me into like this state of like pure everything's fine bliss.
So for those of you that are paying attention, if you want to make sure to just be able to knock Trent out, it's just 2 simple words, guys. All you got to do is say them and he will pass right out. Superfly Snuka. And just boom. What happened to him? I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's like I got hit in the head with a coconut.
Actually, that was early 80s. That was a bad reference.
No, I mean, he was still around, but he also killed a lady, but that's fine.
Oh, so glad I could bring that up. Well, just thanks for ending us on that high note, Trent. Everybody, thank you very much for joining us for this journey of NetHeads this week. Greatly appreciated all of you that participated live, and appreciate every single last one of you that does take part in this program any way, shape, or form. And hopefully we're able to go ahead and be part of that soothing balm you need right now if you do, or just a welcome distraction from that weekend project that you're out there working on. And it's just our dulcet tones are distracting you from the fact that, God damn it, I put this piece in wrong. Now I got to take it all apart and put it back together again. Or maybe, we're there with you right at the end of the project. Congratulations. You did a great job. Anyway, thank you very much. We appreciate all of you, especially Ian G, the Patreon supporter of the week. Special shout out again, link in the description about the SliceWorks triple dipped cool plate for your 3D printer beds, guys. They do that. They do filament. I'm telling you, it's money, and right now, probably a good time if you were thinking about it. So make sure to check that out. Until next time, guys, thank you very much. My name is Will.
My name is Trent.
And we will be back
Soon.
Bye.
This has been a Smodcast production. Smodcast Podcast, using our mouths on you since 2007.
You got me. You got me. I was not expecting that. I don't know what inspired it.
Yeah.
I don't know what drew it in, but
Yeah.
thank you. You made me laugh.
You're welcome, Mr. DeVille. I was ready for my close-up.
Extreme.